Hi guys, welcome to 30-minute hip opener yoga. This is great for any kind of back injury recovery, and all we're gonna do is just do some yoga flow that's gonna open up the hips and your hamstrings, and in return, make your back feel a little bit better than before. So we'll get started. Before we start, actually, these are the props you'll need. You're gonna need a strap, and you're gonna need 2 blocks and a yoga blanket if you have it. But if you don't have a strap, grab a belt or a scarf or a towel or an old t-shirt. And if you don't have blocks, you can always use a pillow or a firm book. All right, we'll get started with our blocks. So bring one block a medium height and the other one a little bit in a tall setting. You're gonna bring the strap here and make a giant loop with that strap. So much that you're gonna put it around the body. Let's see if I remember. And then we're gonna come into this butterfly. And then okay, we're gonna have to I remember now. I was like, what am I doing? What am I doing? All right. So you're gonna put the strap just above the hips, and then you're gonna hook it around the outer edge of the feet. And then just tighten the strap just a little bit so that there's some tension on that strap built. And you're gonna put the middle edge of that block just where your sports bra line ends for ladies. And guys, you can use your imagination. And you can bring the edge of that block right at the occipital bone, which is that place where your head becomes your neck, and you just hang out here. So what this strap is doing here right now, it's helping you to gently pull your butt down away from that back. And these blocks are just gonna let you open up your heart and relax that back completely. Stay here for a couple breaths. Inhale here. And then exhale. Inhale and exhale. And as you breathe in and out, just feel your lungs expand, feel your belly rise and fall. And if you can, just start to wiggle your feet a little bit more forward so you feel a little bit more tension in that strap. It's gonna feel really good on the hips. Gentle heart opener. We're gonna stay here for 5 more breaths. Inhale, and then exhale. Inhale here, and exhale. Inhale, and then exhale. 2 more here. Inhale, and exhale. 1 more. Inhale, and then exhale. Slowly open the eyes if you had them closed like me. And then gently just start to move your head side to side, releasing that tension on your neck a little bit more. And then slowly you're gonna roll over to that left side, bring your knees together, just come off the block, and then push yourself up, and then come off that strap. Okay, this is always not the sexiest transition, but remove that strap away from you. And then come into the Sukhasana, cross-legged. Flex your feet to protect your knees. On your inhale, you're gonna lengthen the spine, grow tall, and then exhale, fold forward, opening up your back, and start to crawl your fingers forward. Lower your head down. If you wish, and you wanna make this a little bit more restorative, you can always bring that block and put it on top of your forehead. It's up to you. And stay here for a couple of breaths. Inhale, and then exhale. As you inhale here, lower the hips down towards the ground. And as you exhale, reach your fingertips forward, therefore expanding that back. All right, slowly walk your hands back to your knees. Gently come up. And then On your inhale, reach both arms up, and an exhale, bring your left arm, I'm mirroring you, so it might look like you're right. Bring your left arm down, and then reach your right fingertips to the side. Open it up. Inhale here. And then exhale. Inhale. And then exhale. Lengthen the spine. So one thing you might be doing is you might be just crunching on your shoulder like this. But I want you to not do that. Imagine your back is gonna be glued against the wall. So you're opening that chest tall. You're not collapsing on the shoulder. Because a lot of the times you can always let go and put some weight on this shoulder in an unwanted way. So I want you to lift the chest up and then imagine you're just pulling yourself away from that left shoulder socket. Inhale here. And then exhale, slowly bring the right hand outside of that left knee, and then gently bring the left arm up over your head, and then slowly reach to the left side. Inhale here. And then exhale. Inhale. And then exhale, slowly come back to center. And then let's switch the crossing of that leg so it feels a little bit different. Inhale, lengthen the heart, lengthen the spine, and then exhale, fold forward. And as you inhale, lower the hip down, and as you exhale, start to bring the fingertips forward. And then bring your forehead onto the block, if you did it on the other side, and let go of your hands completely. And by letting go of your hands, in case you were wondering what I meant by that, I meant just release the tension. I guess you can't really let go of your hands because your hands are just attached to you. Just a weird thought I have in my yoga class, but it's okay. Stay here for a couple more breaths. Inhale, root the hip down, and exhale, reach your fingertips forward. Inhale, root the hip down, and exhale, reach your fingertips a little bit more forward. Great job. And slowly walk your hands back to your feet and then push yourself up. And then gently reach both hands up to the sky and then lower the right hand down by your side. And then keep walking that right hand out to the right as you lift and lengthen the left side. So keep in mind here is you're not collapsing forward, right? Your back is against that wall. And you're gonna reach your hand up. Inhale here, and then exhale. And your neck, your gaze can be at your arm, or it can be down, but your neck should be wherever feels most comfortable to you right now. One more breath, inhale, and exhale, slowly come up, and then bring the left hand outside of that right knee. Inhale, lift that right hand up. And then just lengthen out the side. Should feel really good. Inhale and exhale. Inhale here. And then exhale, slowly come back to center. All right. And then slowly bring the knees into your chest. You're gonna hug as tight as you can, and you're gonna try to bring your forehead down to your knees, opening up that upper back. And start to walk your hands to your elbows to make it into a tighter ball. And the more you do this, the more you're going to open up that upper back, that space behind your shoulder blades. Inhale here. And then exhale. Inhale. And then exhale, slowly lower down. All right, let's come to that tabletop. So let me just adjust my mic real quick. All right, so when you're in this tabletop, make sure your shoulders are directly over the wrists, hips are directly over the knees. On your inhale, dip your belly slightly. Make sure your core is engaged so you're not pulling on that back. And exhale, belly rise, come to that cat. Inhale, come to that cow. Exhale, belly rise, come to cat. Keep going with your flow. Inhale, and then exhale, cat. Inhale to cow, and then exhale to cat. 3 more like this. Inhale, and then exhale. 2 more. Inhale, And then exhale. Stay here, tuck your toes, lift your hips up and back, come to that down dog. And as you go into that down dog, start to pedal the foot out, bend one knee, then the other. Shake your head, yes or no. And then come high on your tippy toes, bend your knees, bring your belly to your thighs to really expand that back. And imagine that someone's pulling you up and back from the hip. So we're really lengthening that back here. And then lower the legs down as much as you can, straighten the leg. And then slowly walk your hands back to meet your feet. Grab the opposite elbow, shake your head yes or no. And just rock side to side. Inhale here, and then exhale, let go. Inhale, and then exhale. And then slowly, one vertebrae at a time, you're gonna come into a standing Tadasana. Bring the feet together. On your inhale, bring the arms up. And then exhale, dive forward. And then slowly walk your hands forward, come into that plank. And then drop your knees. Remove that block if it's in front of you. And then slowly lower down all the way. And then inhale, press down on the tops of the feet, really lift the thigh up, and then gently lift the heart and bring the elbows back, coming to the slow cobra. Exhale, lower down. Slowly come onto your knees, tuck your toes, lift your hips down, dog. Inhale, lift that right leg up, bend the right knee, and then start to make giant circles with that right side. One way, and then the other. So we're really opening up that hip flexor. And then slowly straighten the right leg. And then exhale, step the right foot outside of that right hand. Drop the left knee down, untuck the left toes, and stay here in this wide-legged lizard. So just feel this out for now. If you want to come down to your forearms, you can always come down to your forearms. Or if you want to use a block, you can always come and use a block. I like to put my forehead on top of the block to completely relax my neck. But this should feel really good on your left hip flexor right here and also your right hip. You should feel everything just kind of opening up. Remember, if you have tight back or you just have a back injury, a lot of the times that pain can come from tight hips and tight hamstrings. So it's very critical for you to stretch that all the time. And then slowly plant your hands and gently push yourself up. And then walk your right foot all the way to the left edge of the mat. We're gonna go for pigeon. And then drop that right knee down. So there's a couple of things that people make mistake in pigeon is they want to fold from here or they start to bring the right foot inside towards their midline. But I want to try something new for you. I want you to grab your block, bring it underneath that right hip so you can find alignment first. You gotta bring that right knee out to the right as much as you can. And then bring the right ankle up. And this is gonna help you protect that knee. And then flex that right foot. Yeah, there you go. And then just feel tall and see how different it feels. If you have tight hamstrings and tight hips, then this alignment is for you. So always listen to your body. Stay here and then fold forward. Now, if you think the block is a little bit too tall, then you can always come off that block and then use a yoga blanket to put under your hip. So when you have something under your hip, you're gonna transfer that weight properly, right? A lot of the times when people have a gap between their hip and the ground, they tend to put the weight on that knee. And that is why pigeon is one of the best poses, but it can also be the worst because if you do it wrong, you are gonna hurt yourself. I had a knee issue where I couldn't even drive, and I realized that the way I was doing pigeon was completely incorrect. And that was one of the reasons why I got a really bad knee injury and I didn't know what to do with it. So, you're welcome. Stay here. And again, if you like to use a block, grab the block and then put it on top of you, under your forehead. We'll stay here for 3 more breaths. 3, 2, and 1. Slowly plant your hands and then gently come up. And then you're gonna shift the weight towards the right side and then swing that left leg forward. There you go. And if you're on a blanket, come off the blanket. Remove the blanket out of the way. And then let's grab your strap. We're gonna come into Ajanu Sirsasana. So make sure your right foot is inside of that left inner thigh. Grab the strap, and this is critical here. So one thing I want you to remember is your back is like a hardcover of the book, and your hip is like the binding of a book. So you're gonna hinge from that. The hip, and your book, if the cover of the book is always gonna be flat and straight. So that's kind of the imagery that you're gonna have with your back. So flex the left foot. On your inhale, grab the opposite ends of the strap and lift and lengthen the heart up. And gently twist towards the left and then lift and lengthen the torso. And as you exhale, slowly bring the arms down and hook the strap around the ball of the foot. Adjust your spine, engage that core. You're gonna push the shoulders away, press the shoulder blades back. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And as you exhale, slowly hinge from your hips. Your chest is gonna go towards that knee. It should feel really good on the back if you're doing this properly. A lot of the times people try to reach for the toe and they end up just concaving on their back. They're actually gonna hurt their backs by doing that. If you're not warmed up and you try to reach for your toe, you're gonna cause a back spasm. It's not gonna be fun. So engage that core, lengthen the spine, and try to bring that chest towards that knee. Your back is really, really important here. A lot of the times people forget how much your back is vulnerable here. And then keep playing around with that strap, and if you find this easy, then you start to grab that foot, lengthen the heart, and once you find that length, that's when you start to fold forward. And then maybe you can touch, your forehead can go down to your knees, and maybe it doesn't. If you want to make this more relaxing, you can always bring that block. I would suggest putting it just below your knee and hang out here. We'll stay here for 5 breaths, wherever you are. 5, 4, 'All right, slowly release your hands and then remove the block if you use it on the other side. And then you're gonna just put your weight on that right side of the body, swing that left leg back, coming to this quick makeshift pigeon. Tuck your left toes, lift the left knee, and then step the right foot back, come into that down dog. We do the other side. Inhale, lift that left leg up, bend the left knee, and just make giant circles with that left side. I'm gonna turn so you can see me doing the left side. Opening up your hip flexors, and then just make that switch in the direction of that circle. Inhale here, and then exhale. Slowly extend the left leg out, and exhale, step the left foot outside of that left hand. Drop your right knee down, untuck your right toes, and stay in this lizard. Now, if you want to come down to your forearms, you can. And if you use the block to put your forehead down, then you can always use that too as well. Stay here for 4 breaths. 4. Last breath here, inhale. And then exhale. Slowly plant your hands and then gently push yourself up. And then walk your left foot all the way to the right side of the mat. Keep walking, keep walking. So remember what we discussed about that alignment. Make sure you have that block underneath that left hip. And then bring the left knee out to the left side of the mat as much as you can. That's gonna help you bring that left ankle up so it's parallel to the short edge of the mat. Inhale here, square your hips. My left side is my tighter side, so I think I'm actually gonna use the block this time instead of the blanket. Inhale here, and exhale, fold forward. So if you use the block under your forehead, you're welcome to do so here. I like to do it just because it helps me relax. But try not to shift the weight towards the left side. Try to even it out, right, with your hips. So put some weight on that right side, and that's gonna help you open up that hip flexor. Stay here for 5 breaths. Inhale, and an exhale. Inhale, exhale. Slowly plant your hands and then gently push yourself up. If you're on a block or a blanket, come off of it. Shift the weight towards the left side and extend the right leg forward. Come into this Janusarsasana. So my mic is just hanging out here. On your in, and then find your strap. On your inhale, lengthen the heart up and then twist a little bit more to the right. Inhale here. And exhale, hook the strap around the right ball of the foot. And remember what we discussed on the other side. You're gonna lengthen the spine. Your back is the hardcover of a book. And then you're gonna hinge from your hips. And then slowly bring the heart forward, forward. And if you can't if you don't need the strap no longer, you can drop it and then put your hands around the ball of the foot and just let go here. If you want to grab a block, grab your block, put it just underneath that knee, and then lower down. Stay here for 5 breaths. All right, slowly lower your hands down and then gently push yourself up. Remove that. And then from here, you're gonna plant your hands to the left side, shoot the right leg back like you're in a makeshift pigeon, tuck your right toes, lift the right knee, and then step it back to that down dog. Inhale here. Exhale, let go. And then slowly walk your hands back to your feet. And from here, you're gonna lift the right ball of the foot, your toe off the mat. Insert your palm underneath that foot. So you're gonna flip your palms underneath that foot and then hang out in this gorilla pose. So one thing to note is to shift the weight towards the ball of your foot, towards the front part of your body. And then pull your elbows out slightly and let your neck hang low. So this should feel really good. Just stretching that upper back, your mid back, and even to your lower body. I like to even just wiggle my toes around my wrist to just give myself a little massage. And it's also kind of a funny thing to say, right? You gave your wrist massage with your toes. You don't do that very often. Shake your head yes or no. Inhale. And an exhale. 3 more breaths. And slowly come off of it. And then gently bring your feet out wide. We're gonna come into Malasana. Bring your hands inside and just Hang out side to side, open up your hips. Your back should feel really good. Mine feels a lot better already. And then slowly lower your hips down. And we're gonna come into our final pose, which is called a king pigeon, or stacked pigeon, actually. That's the better word for it. I think king pigeon is something else. So bring your blocks to the side. If you want to use a blanket, you can do so as well. But you're gonna come into a stacked leg. So you wanna bring that right foot on top of that left knee and make sure your shins are parallel here. Now, if you don't have open hips and you can't touch the ground, then what do? You start to grab that block and then put it on top of it. Easy, simple fix. From here, inhale, lengthen the hands up, and then exhale, hinge from your hips forward, and then down. If you need to grab a block, bring it underneath that forehead, and just keep reaching your fingers forward and stay here. One more breath here, inhale. And on your exhale, slowly walk your hands back. And then let's switch sides. So this time, your left foot on top of that right knee. And then your shins are parallel. Flex that feet to protect your knees. Grab your block. And if you need to, you can always bring it underneath if you have that gap. Otherwise, just hang out here. Inhale, lengthen the heart, lengthen the spine, bring the arms up, and then exhale, fold forward. And then grab your block and put it under your forehead if you wish, but just keep reaching and lengthening the back. And lower the hips down. Stay here for a couple of breaths. One more breath here, inhale. And then exhale, slowly walk your hands back. And then gently come off. And from here, we'll just get into our final poses. So you're gonna bring this block just under your sacrum, and you're gonna grab your strap. So bring the strap, bring that loop of the strap just outside of your thighs. You're gonna tighten that strap around your thighs. Yep. And make sure you have the strap nearby, the block nearby. Lie down. You're gonna come for that bridge pose. So plant your feet down underneath that knee, lift your hips. And then I'm gonna start with a medium setting. I'm gonna put it right on the sacrum. So sacrum is kind of like just above the tailbone. And then just hang out here. So what that strap is doing here is helping you to completely relax that leg. And stay. Close your eyes. So you should feel your hips getting pulled by this block and just expanding that tight, any kind of tightness you might have in that lower back. This feels amazing. And personally for me, that strap is just pure gold because it helps my legs completely relax. And when your legs are completely relaxed, it gives space for your back to expand and stretch and for you to really feel and understand what's going on with your back. A lot of the times when our hamstrings and hips are so tight, when you do any stretches, you forget to kind of listen to your back, listen to that feedback from your back, because all you're doing is listening to the hamstrings and the hips that are screaming more in pain. So this is why this is a great pose to end.
We'll stay here for 10 more long breaths. Inhale and then exhale. Five more breaths here. Last breath, inhale. And then exhale. Let it go. Slowly lift your hips and then remove that block. Bring the knees in, rock side to side, and then gently roll to one side, come into a fetal position, and then push yourself up. And then remove the strap. All right, thank you guys for joining. That was a hip and back stretch opener flow. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Have a great day. Bye.